Hi, so this is the recording of my client's therapeutic tarot reading. Okay. Hi, Cynthia. So thank you so much for booking. So I'm just gonna go over a couple announcements real quick. Here is the mic test. I hope it works over here, over here. And I'm gonna send this to make sure the audio sounds good. So thank you so much for booking. So I'm just gonna go over a couple announcements real quick. Here is the mic test. I hope it works. Over here. And I'm gonna send this to make sure. Okay, so I'm gonna send another one because that sounded a little funky in some spots. Okay, I just touched the microphone, but I'm gonna see if it made that weird sound again. Okay, so I'm gonna send another one because that sounded a little funky in some spots. Okay, I just touched the microphone, but I'm gonna see if it made that weird sound again. Okay, here's another because I don't want the microphone to do any weird tweak stuff. I'm just gonna talk. I started our recording of this, and I do have a question on that. Okay, here's another, because I don't want the microphone to do any weird tweak stuff. Why is it doing that? I'm just gonna talk. I started our recording of this, and I do have a question on that. Sounds a little odd to me. Is this charged? Okay, I'm using a different microphone with a different type of mic piece on it, just to see if it makes any difference. Let me know on your end if it sounds okay, but for me it sometimes bothers me, so I'm holding up to my face now, and hopefully it sounds okay. Okay, I'm using a different microphone with a different type of mic piece on it, just to see if it makes any difference. Let me know on your end if it sounds okay, but for me it sometimes bothers me, so I'm holding up. Okay, so it works quite good with the other mic piece, which is interesting. Okay, so this is a 30-minute session, so I'm going to be setting a timer for 20 to start wrapping it up at 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and yeah. The 30-minute sessions do go by quite fast, so if you ever want to book again, I am offering this as of right now, doing unlimited therapeutic tarot reading sessions. So let me know, and we can always start off where we left, or pick it up anywhere you want, as these are only 30-minute sessions. Oh, and another good reminder, I do offer way longer in-depth therapeutic tarot reading services or sessions, but so one for an hour and one for 2.5 hours to 3 hours, but we can also always customize those things as well, no problem. Sorry, I was not watching the microphone, I was looking at my camera, so I don't know where it cut off, but I was saying that I do have in-depth, longer therapeutic tarot readings that are 1 hour, and there's another option for going up to 2.5 to 3 hours, but we can also always customize that at any point in time. It's no problem. So just to let you know in advance, if you do ever want to book a way longer in depth, it's not rushed at all one bit. I do have those services, but they are more paid because of my time and energy going into it. So the 1 hour is a 75 payment, and the 2.5 to 3 hour is 180. Just wanted to let you know that. What is that called? What do I name that? Paid services, something like that. I'm writing a little, what do we call it? Announcements, reminders, or no, everything to go through.
Excuse background noise. That one does sound a lot better.
Okay, also, if you're like if this is not a greatest time for you, we can totally do any other time, just to let you know. Okay. And then I am recording this session for recorded video footage. And on the form, the question wasn't on there yet, but I added it. So my question is, the way I upload these videos for clients to see for both of our use is I upload it to YouTube. I can either do that privately, so only you can see it, only people with the link can see it, or I can upload it publicly so other clients who visit my YouTube page can also see. It's your choice 100%, and you can also change that choice at any point in time. YouTube, mic check, timer, we're going to start that and set camera, feature paid services, perfect. Okay, lovely, so that's all of my announcements. We're going to get into the session now. Timer is started, and yeah, so I'm going to start off the session by asking you, would you like to talk about anything specific right off the bat? Is there anything heavy on your mind, very in the front of your mind? It's non-stop. Anything specific? You mentioned some things in your booking form. You can feel free to talk about any of those things as well. Otherwise, I will start asking you questions to open this conversation up. So is there anything you would like to talk about right off the bat? And if not, I'd like to ask you the question, how has your energy been lately? How have you been feeling mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually? How has your energy been? And we're going to get some cards. Okay, I'm setting my microphone down. I'm going to listen to this voice message in the beginning just to make sure the microphone sounds okay. But I'm going to be pulling some cards for you. Let me send this message. Okay, I'm setting my microphone down. I'm going to listen to this voice message in the beginning just to make sure the microphone sounds okay. But I'm going to be pulling some cards for you. Let me send this message. Perfect. Sounds good. Okay, so I'm going to also be pulling some cards for you. I'm going to do about like 2 or 3 tarot cards, maybe 4. And maybe an oracle card or 2. I really like pulling those. And yeah, so I will be pulling those cards for you. I will be inviting your spirit guides in right now, as they've already been here. They're always surrounded by you no matter what. You don't have to call them in. They're just automatically always there. Whether you have the intention or don't have the intention. And whether you know it consciously or unconsciously. Or subconsciously. Okay, so I'm going to start pulling some cards. I hope you might like some card ASMR, because the microphone is in front of the cards and I'll be shuffling. Gotta record that ASMR. Oh, and I want to mention right now as well to start opening this conversation up and bringing this up. You mentioned in your booking form how you have some curiosity and you would also like to use this time and space for venting. So I'm going to open it up and give you permission. If you'd like to start venting about absolutely anything that comes to your mind first, last, middle, second, anything, you can go ahead and start venting if you'd like. That space is completely open for you, and I'd love to hear it. Believe me, I would love to hear it. And yeah.
I would say that my energy is definitely a bit more vibrant and positive, but in the spring and summer, a lot of troubles. It was dim and going through a lot of chaotic stuff due to being involved with this CD character that I thought I had feelings for, and then also just relationship issues with my longtime partner, and we split up. So I guess that's how my energy is, and I guess what I feel more drawn to talk about.
And then, yes, you also mentioned curiosity. And I was gonna kind of dive into that and gently ask you, what are you curious about? And that might be a really big question with a really big answer, with a lot of answers, and that's really fine. Um, but I thought it was curious how you mentioned curiosity, and I was like, that's cool. I wonder what they're curious of. And yeah, and so yeah, I think that's great. You brought up what you brought up in your voice message just now about the spring and the early summer. I have that down here in my notes, and I remember seeing that from the booking. I think that's great. You want to talk about that, so I think we should. And let me. You note and say that you are a much brighter, kind of happier person now lately, but you did go through some like painful experiences, very challenging, struggling, and just hard experiences. Would you like to talk about how those were like for you? And I feel called to ask you about, you mentioned you had a split up with your longtime partner. And it seems like that was for quite a while, a pretty long relationship. Would you like to talk about how you feel about that now? How maybe that has affected you, your feelings on that now, where you have, um, where your perspective lies on that currently?
Yeah, I guess I've also just been like, like it feels happy to or good to get the 200-hour certificate program over with, but also realizing like that I still, I mean, especially after like the chaotic nature, just how I've been feeling in the spring and summer, that was like my lowest point. I mean, now I feel a lot better. It's still this sense of feeling lost and trying to find some path, some sense of guidance. And I realized that that's what I was kind of trying to do unintentionally, and maybe intentionally as well, without knowing it. I being romantically involved with a CD character.
I can understand how that whole like weird, chaotic, and negative experience has made some impact on you, put some impact on you. And it seems like you're doing good at moving on, healing from it, trying to grow from it. But it does seem like, there's like it's still maybe affecting you in certain ways, and like you said, you still feel lost. Would you like to talk about in what ways do you feel lost at? And let me know if you can't answer all these questions that I'm personally asking. It's no problem. I just ask a lot of questions to just hone it in and to just give that availability. And you mentioned the CD character. Do you want to describe to me what meeting and having those experiences with that CD character meant to you or means to you? You really put a lot of emphasis on the CD character. What does that mean to you? What does that look like and pose to you? And we got 3 cards. And then we also have 3 cards here that I will start telling you about now. We have 3 tarot cards, and I picked this deck because I think you'll really like this deck. It's a Spanish deck, which I think was created by an artist in either Mexico or Spain, and I love it. It's very artistic. And I want to go over those cards a little bit, but I don't want them to scare you, so know that it's all okay. I say this because there's one particular card that is definitely a negative card, but it just represents the negativity that you did go through. And so now you're trying to go through this type of healing, being so much more a person, and so being a specific person and also having a specific life and lifestyle. There's so much more caring, gentle, slow, nourishing. It is the Queen of Cups.
Yes, I'll try my best to address both. So, I guess the early spring and summer, I guess the reason why that felt chaotic was because I was not feeling good mentally. I felt very depressed and then got involved with a character that, seemed exciting and charming and potential to maybe, I don't know, add some zest in my life and solve whatever issues I was trying to work out within. And lo and behold, that wasn't, they were just a seedy character and not the healthiest either. It was very toxic, and it's what led to my partner and I splitting up for a while. But then we reconnected, fortunately, just honestly out of persistence.
So, to just recap what you said to confirm it. So this experience you were going through, it kind of started maybe perhaps in a space of you just really not feeling good, maybe just really not feeling yourself, and trying to look for this sense of stimulation that was very high energy and very exciting, maybe like you said, zest potential, giving you this way different energy to experience. And maybe in your mind you felt, maybe if I can experience these really high things, that I can just maybe feel better in certain ways. It can maybe inspire me or help me in my life in certain aspects.
Okay, so in regards to the lost feeling, like after, I don't know, having kind of crushed my world that I kind of recognized by being involved with that character, it really put into perspective. I don't know, it just made me feel like, I don't know, made me realize like whether or not I've been moving, and it made me realize that in a sense I have been stagnant in a way. And so that's what essentially made me feel kind of lost, because I, whether I knew it or not, but I just haven't been present till that very moment where I just kind of had the rug pulled underneath me, but it was by me, if that makes sense. And as for the CD character, I guess what I mean was that they weren't fully honest, and they were kind of, yeah, they weren't fully honest. They were behaving suspiciously in some ways and being kind of gross and creepy with coworkers around me and even friends around me. And seemingly in the beginning, they portrayed or came off as a character that would pull people together. But due to their nature and I guess just the series of unfortunate events, it seems like all they really do is kind of split people because of their honestly sexually aggressive nature and not being honest with their intentions.
I'm very, very sorry to hear that you had to go through really like a traumatic experience, that was very close to you in a very intimate part of your life that caused this chaos and caused things to kind of disrupt in life. And have these negative experiences that came with it and kind of riled up your life, but I do like the fact that you say that you talk about how you weren't present and this kind of helped you learn to be more present after that situation, after a very unfortunate situation though. How was that experience like? Does it feel like you're still healing from it? Does it feel like it still traumatizes you to this day? Does it feel like it affects you still? I do know and I do remember how you say that you are feeling brighter now, more vibrant, functionable, right? A little bit more reverse to not feeling depressed. But how are you feeling about the situation? That spring, that early summer. How does that situation still make you feel, and how does it affect you? What feelings does it give you? And what maybe experiences does it give you still to this day, if that's applicable? So I want to talk about the cards right now. I will also be sending you pictures of the cards. And the cards that we have is the Tower reversed, and we have the Devil card in the very middle, and then the third card is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is the best card out of all these cards here. So with the Tower, the Tower card is, if you don't know, it's having this, literally as you say it, having such a destruction happen in your life that it really turns everything upside down. It's very almost shocking as well. It's very disruptive. It's very like, whoa. It's very, very disruptive, and a lot of traumatic experiences come from this. It's a whole negativity card. And there's actually some snakes in this card, and some of the meanings or interpretations of snakes can line up with that dishonesty, like how you were referring to your CD character as very dishonest, and toxic, unhealthy, gross, creepy, right? But this card here is reversed. So this card being reversed, it kind of means like, okay, the tower has fallen. And to put it in context, the tower fell in spring, early summer. That's when the tower moment happened. That's when the tower fell. And now since it's fallen, you're kind of putting this tower back together, either finding a new tower, rebuilding the tower, relocating this tower, anything, something like that, right? It's this healing process. It's the recovery process, the growing from it. A picture that's coming up in my mind right now is, like, let's say picture a farm, and there's a lot of plants, crops, vegetables, foods, it's all growing. But then let's imagine a huge storm comes, lightning, rainstorms, wind that is just, it takes it all down, all the crops on the farm, and the stuff that was growing, it all got smashed down and all got disrupted and destroyed, some of it maybe. And that is the tower moment. But then after this happens, those plants are wanting to have this sense and this moment of regrowth again. They want to sprout up again and have more growth. And that's where I feel you are right now. You are that plant who went through this really stormy energy. Traumatic, if you resonate with that term. And it has affected you very deeply, very stirred up your life and different things in your life. But now you're in a way, you're over that, but you're recovering. Oh, sorry. I was looking around my room and I wasn't watching the voice message. What I was saying at the very end was that you are just, after that whole thing happened, you're now in a state of recovery and just healing from it and growing from it, fixing up the boo-boos, fixing up the injuries, those things. And those injuries, maybe they're very deep, maybe they're very big ones. But as I said, I use the word boo-boo, and maybe it's, it's like knee scrapes. Maybe it feels like to you that you're hurt a little bit in just smaller ways. Maybe it's a mix of both. And so you, with this devil card in the middle as well, this is like, okay, yes, you were and you are in this type of theme of life where you're facing the themes of toxicity, unhealthiness, negativity, self-destruction, the theme of destroying. I don't know what the other word is for that. Destroyment, that's not a word. Destroying, or destructive is a good word, if I didn't already say that. And I'm also, something your guides just told me right now, real quick, was like obsessive as well. That word also came through. And so that's what the devil card is about here. And so you're in this energy where you're dealing with these quote-unquote devil card energies, those themes that were mentioned. And so you dealing with these energies, this is kind of, in a way, it's kind of being an underlying factor in your life right now, or it's kind of, in a way, the center of your life. And these are the themes that you're dealing with. And what I mean by dealing with is maybe you're not experiencing them as you were in the spring and summer, but you are going over these themes as if they were coming from a lesson book that you got from school. So you're learning how to heal these things, how to grow from these things. You're learning about yourself and your relation to these types of themes and these categories. And through that, it is bringing you to be this energy of the Queen of Cups, which I'm showing on the video that you'll probably see if you watch the video. And the Queen of Cups, it's a water sign, of course. What's your zodiac sign, by the way? And it's completely water energy. So water energy is nurturing, it's emotional, it's healing, it has a lot of emotions. So that doesn't have to also just mean bad emotions, but it means I feel all of my feelings and emotions, even the bad ones. I work through them, I heal through them, I try to be gentle to myself, nourishing to myself. I try to relax when I need to, give me that restorative energy when I need to. The Queen of Cups is legit a queen. She takes care of herself. Am I taking care of herself? She takes care of so many other things in life. It helps the flow of her life. And that is legit where you are going to. That is the energy that you're in, that you're stepping to, and that you're approaching more and more and more as you work through these devil energies and healing from this big tower moment, So speaking of that Queen of Cups, I felt very called and decided to get an oracle card for you from my Moonology deck. So these are some moon cards. And the moon is ruled by the sign of Cancer, which Cancer is a water sign. The moon is a water sign. water element based. And so it's the perfect type of energy that you're stepping into, you're heading into. Very self-love, very self-care. Again, that word nurturing and nourishment is being told to me from your guides so much, those words. So let me know if you'd like to talk about anything, if anything's coming up in your mind, if you can pinpoint or relate or pinpoint anything specific to what this healing process feels like to you, or if you want to reflect back on maybe what it feels like to heal from this really negative, chaotic, perhaps traumatizing event, what this whole kind of aftermath feels like, if you have any reflection on that. And I will be pulling your cards in the meantime. And also, perfect time to remind you to make this mini announcement. We have 6 minutes left of our reading. So we're going to slowly wrap it up gently. Let me know. This is a perfect time if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns. In fact, let me reword that. What are your questions? What are your thoughts, comments, concerns? And again, just another reminder, I am totally willing to book another session with you to continue this, since these are short sessions. So the oracle card that we got for you, the Moon Oracle card, is really pretty actually, and it's we're talking about the water sign, and in this card there are whole oceans in this card, and the moon is very pretty, and there's a lot of blue teal in this card. Just really stands out. The card that we have here is Nothing is Set in Stone. Very, very cute, and this is great. I love it. And an intuitive message that I do want to pass down from your guides right now. Your guides just really heavily emphasized and told me that they want to bring up your partner, and they want to bring up like, hey, yeah, it's totally possible that maybe you won't have a time to get back with that partner in certain ways, or maybe you totally will. And there's also these things about that your guides wanted to mention is if you feel very impacted from this experience and situation, your guides want to tell you that it doesn't mean that you will always feel that heavily impacted. And again, the changes, like with that partner, that's just being very emphasized right now for some reason, that situation itself is not set in stone. It's going to keep flowing, just like the emotions, just like the waters, just like how the moon cycles goes through constant changes and is growing and then getting smaller and growing and then getting smaller, and just constantly going through the phases, right? And you guys just wanted to kind of gently put this message out there that, like, even in general, nothing is set in stone. And bringing that up, I want to relate that to your path in life as well, since you mentioned that in the form, that your path in life is also not going to be set in stone, and it's not set in stone right now. And I would really like to pass that message over to you, as your guides are heavily emphasizing it. They're really saying it very loudly. They're like, change can happen. Change can happen. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Those cute, tiny little green plants, they're sprouting, they're growing, and that's change. It's completely different to when the farm was completely destroyed. Change is happening because the sun is coming out, because the growth is happening, and change is happening, and nothing is set in stone, and a lot of things within the situation can change. And in fact, I think you're already changing a lot with this Queen of Cups energy. So we are approaching the end of our session gently, with about 2-3 minutes left to slowly wrap this up. Let me know if there's any last questions, comments. If you do want to have another session and you want to start somewhere specific, you can let me know and I can write that down in our notes. But if not, no worries. And yeah, let me know if there's any last questions, thoughts, things you might want to get off your chest or talk about. Okay, let's get some pictures. Don't need this in here. Cute. Everything. Okay, let me send these pictures to her. Okay. Wow, it's only 7? It's not bad. I'm still recording on here, just until it's completely finished out. Our session has ended, but, just in case I might have any other couple things to say to my client. Just want to make sure that it can be recorded. Okay. I will end it here now. Okay, this was 41 minutes. First off at 40, then I spent 10 minutes, I think, doing announcements, stuff like that. Okay, okie dokie. Thank you for watching the video on this therapeutic tarot reading, and I hope to see you next time. Check the description in this video if you want to see any notes, which really just go over the same notes, go over kind of same things that were repeated in the session, but I just can repeat it in the description. So thank you so much for booking. Feel free to book again. Bye!